The Macedon that Minerva and Maria remembered best was one of peace, a quiet, prosperous kingdom famed for the flying beast favored by the Draco Knights. But then their brother, Prince Michalis, succumbed to his lust for power. Despite his sister's adamant opposition, he swore allegiance to Dollar, and when Macedon's dragoons took flight, the world suffered. Even now that the tides had turned, Michalis took position for one last stand. Draco Knights filled the sky, end to end, eager to pluck Marth from the earth. The opening narration of Chapter 22, A Night-Filled Sky. I recently finished playing through Chapter 22 of Shadow Dragon, so I kinda want to talk about it. The chapter in general was really fun for me, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me here, but in this video I will be discussing the chapter itself and why this chapter is the turning point for the Macedon King. In this chapter, you are facing off against the King of Macedon, Michalis. Marth, the army's leader, is aided by Michalis' two sisters, Minerva and Maria, in their stand against the ambitious king. Because Macedon is surrounded by high mountains, the army is going to have to scale to treacherous heights in order to even reach Michalis and have a chance at defeating him, all while fighting elite horsemen on the ground and the famed Wyvern riders of Macedon flying down at them. What's interesting, however, is how the Macedon siblings even got into a quarrel. Michalis, exploited by the evil sorcerer Garneth, wants Macedon to be a powerful nation that rules Arcanea, and to achieve this he kills his father to take the throne. Minerva, learning of the truth of Michalis' evil deeds, disagrees with Michalis' way, revolts against him with the White Winged Sisters, and joins Marth's army after he goes and saves Maria from her imprisonment. It's here in Chapter 22 that Minerva would make her final stance against Michalis. Michalis would tell Minerva that their paths would never cross and that they embraced one last time. Michalis is then presumably defeated here, but we learn that isn't exactly the case in the following game afterwards, where he's atoning for his sins. As soon as the castle is captured, Malidus, Marth's advisor, would go on to explain how Michalis was a brilliant man with great things ahead of him if he had not fallen to the lust of his own power. Michalis' grand hero battle in Fire Emblem Heroes is an attempt at replicating the treachery of Chapter 22. Underground, there are infantry soldiers and cavalry units surrounding the mountain, while the flyers are perched on top ready to strike you down at a moment's notice. And just like in his original game, Michalis comes equipped with the Eod Shield, a blessed shield that allows its wielder to dodge the weaknesses of a flyer. And just like when Michalis is defeated in the main games, he too can pass off the Eod Shield through skill inheritance to a flyer to help them dodge their weaknesses as well.
Very well.
What's interesting about Michalis' appearance in Heroes is that Michalis also comes with the atoning, Minerva's personal weapon, in Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. While Michalis does have ranks and acts in the Fire Emblem 1 remake, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, in both modes, normal and hard, Michalis opts to use lances instead. But it can be assumed that Michalis has the atoning as it's implied to be a powerful Macedon weapon that rivals the regalias of Arcanea. While you do end up defeating Michalis in Shadow Dragon, his depiction in Heroes seems to be that of before he falls in battle. All his quotes, his mannerisms reflect that of a powerful and cocky king, unstoppable before the might of his foes. But there is a quote that you unlock once Michalis is at 5-star that states, "I must come to her aid. I must."
I must come to her aid. I must.
This is a reference to how after Michalis had fallen in battle in Chapter 22, Maria in secret had restored Michalis while she was in tears. While the mighty king doesn't believe in deities or gods, he truly believed that Maria was, for a glimpse, an angel. And in the events of Fire Emblem Mystery of the New Emblem, he would atone for his sins by trying to save Maria, and it's here that he truly falls in battle after taking a hefty amount of damage. All in all, Chapter 22 is kind of the turning point for the ambitious king. Before the battle begins, he truly believes that Macedon should rule Arcanea, as he hates seeing his country being weak. Upon falling and being saved by Maria, we see Michalis trying to atone for his sins, and ultimately his aid towards Marth is what allows our favorite falchion-wielding lord to defeat Medius. But either way, hope you enjoyed this video. Chapter 22 of Shadow Dragon is really memorable for me, and I give that in part to how great of a character Michalis is. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want more Fire Emblem content, then please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time.
せるものか。負けるわけにはいかないんだ。